a young girl called Lucky. Lucky was the second born of Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Courier. When she was born, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph already had a daughter called Brenda, the firstborn. So they had hoped for a baby boy. The birth of another girl did not excite the two parents who wanted a boy. So, from a young age, she was loved, yes, but not as much as Brenda or Joseph Jr., who was born 3 years later. Her parents were not rich, nor were they poor. Her dad worked as a lorry driver, and her mom was a stay-at-home mom, taking care of the family and the house. Day by day, she grew older, and when it was time to go to school, she was enrolled at the same school where her sister studied. This was good, since she and her sister were the best of friends. Her father would come home late, so they never saw him much, and when he came, he would first go to their grandma and come back when they had already slept. Sometimes they slept without eating. It's a good thing that the school afforded the people's lunchtime on a government school, or else they would go the whole day without food. As Lucky grew up under this poor environment, life was not easy, and her mother's people-pleasing personality did not make it better. Her aunties took advantage of this and made Lucky and her sister Brenda their personal maids. They would call them and tell them to wash their utensils, mop the house for them, while their children did nothing. And whenever Lucky or Brenda refused, the aunties would come and report to Mama Brenda, saying that Lucky or Brenda are now very disobedient. This, for Mama Brenda, who was a people-pleasing person, was not allowed. She would beat them mercilessly in front of everybody. The children felt utterly helpless. One day, Brenda and Lucky decided enough is enough. They had to change their situation, no matter what. They had long heard of how the city was, and they knew that this was where they would go. One night after they had cleaned the house, they waited until everyone fell asleep. Then they quietly walked out carrying a small bag filled with the essentials that they needed. One thing was clear: they were leaving. As they walked down the road that is usually busy during the day but was abandoned at this time of the night, Lucky held on to Brenda's hand tightly as they walked along the lonely and abandoned road. Suddenly, a car pulled up, and inside it, a woman dressed neatly was driving. "Where are you girls going at this time?" she asked, seeming very concerned. The girls did not answer her. "Okay then, get in. We shall go to your home tomorrow," she said. The girls did not want to get in, but they reluctantly agreed, looking at how abandoned the road was and how dark and quiet it was. She took her to her mansion. When the mansion came in view, the girls were amazed. It looked like nothing they had ever seen. They both gasped at its majesty and its hugeness and elegance. When they got in, they were both amazed. Expensive looks, gold styling, and designer chairs they had never seen. They were both taken to a room that was bigger than their house back in the village. "Freshen up and come down for dinner," the lady said. "By the way, My name is Mrs. Williams," she added. After the girls were done, they went down and one of the many servants ushered them to the dining table where Mrs. Williams was already seated. In front of them looked like it was a feast. They had never seen anything like it. Food, any imaginable food they ever thought they knew. They ate to their heart's content. Then Mrs. Williams told them to go and sleep. They shall talk tomorrow after they rest. The girls thought that their bad days were behind them. They thought that now they can enjoy life in the city. Days passed by quickly, and before they knew, they had spent a week at Mrs. Williams' mansion. They thought they can rest, but little did they know that Mrs. Williams was not as good as they thought. One day, Mrs. Williams came back home and sat the girls down to talk to them. "Girls," she said, "I want you to go for a medical checkup to make sure that you are perfectly fine. You know," she said, feigning concern. The girls thought she was doing this out of concern. But Brenda, having a sharp eye, she started noticing small details about Mrs. Williams that made her uneasy. Hushed phone calls, or how she would look at them as if inspecting a cargo, or how she asked about their health, feigning concern. The day of the medical checkup came fast, and Mrs. Williams took them to a very fancy hospital in one of her many big cars. They did not understand what was being checked, but the checkup was very thorough. Blood was taken out, feces, their temperature, scans were done, everything imaginable. One night, a couple of days after the checkup, Brenda woke up since she could not sleep and decided to go out and get some fresh air. But as she walked downstairs, she noticed Mrs. Williams' office. The lights were still on. Mrs. Williams had long forbidden them from getting out of bed at this time, and also she had forbidden them from ever getting or coming close to her office. Maybe she left them on by mistake. She thought, "Let me go and switch them off." But when she reached outside the door, she heard Mrs. Williams loud and clear on the phone with another person. What she had made her stomach drop. Mrs. Williams was discussing how they were going to harvest their organs and sell them. "It's a perfect match, doctor," she said. "The small one's heart is 50 million Kenyan shillings, and the liver and kidneys, find a buyer in the black market. I shall bring her for harvesting on Sunday." Brenda let out a huge gasp. Quickly held her mouth with her hand to prevent any sound from coming out. She ran back to their room, where Lucky was sleeping, but for the whole night she could not sleep. She tossed and turned till morning when Lucky woke up. She told Lucky everything she had heard, and Lucky was as shocked as she was that previous night. "So what shall we do?" Lucky asked. "I don't want to die, oh," she cried. "We have to escape by Tuesday," Brenda said. And Luck was at their side. Mrs. Williams had to travel that night, and since she believed that the girls were not aware of her plan, she did not leave a tight security. That same night, after she left, the girls waited for about 3 hours until it was midnight. They had arranged a ladder and kept it hidden in the bushes near the fence. They tiptoed out of the house, climbed the ladder, and jumped out of the compound. They both ran as fast as their feet could carry them. far and away from the house as possible as they could. They don't know for how long they had been running, but soon they saw lights from afar. They hurried and decided to wait for daybreak, hiding in a kiosk. When daytime came, they decided to beg for money so that they can have enough transport to go back home. When Mama Brenda saw her two daughters, she ran to them, hugged them with tears on her face. It had been a couple of months since they escaped. Mama Brenda and Baba Brenda had searched for them thoroughly, turning the whole village upside down, but they had not seen them. Seeing them now, she could not hold in her tears. "Where did you guys go? Where have you been? Where did you run away?" she asked her daughters. But first she took them in, gave them food, and after they bathed, they told her everything, why they had left the house, their encounter with Mrs. Williams, and how they had escaped. "My daughters, I am sorry," Mama Brenda said, after the girls told her what they had gone through. Since that day on, Mama Brenda treated the girls like nothing else mattered to her apart from them. She abandoned her people-pleasing ways and decided to put her children above everything else.